I went to culinary school, graduated, I came back home and started to work at Mason's. That was one of my, so I worked at Harbor Lights first with Doug Potts, Chef Doug Potts, who's still a good friend of mine. We talk regularly. And then I came to Mason's because it was in Easton, and just the way it worked out. And I had a buddy here. They were working for this this new, he was like the new young hot chef, Chad Scott, that was here at Mason's. He definitely, he had some skills, and food was just starting to like kind of, pop its head up here in Easton, like good food. You had Columbia, and you had Andrew doing his thing here at Easton, and Amy was obviously carving the correct path right from the beginning. And so it'd be all of a sudden Easton became very interesting, a little foodie town, right when I got out of culinary school. And Chad opened up this, I remember the day he showed me, he said, "Have you ever seen this book?" And it was Thomas Keller's The French Laundry. Like every cook at my level of cooking, which there's thousands of us who love what we do, have had this moment, opening up the French Laundry cookbook. Like, oh, that's food. Oh, geez. Mind blow. I mean, just. So yeah, that was like my turning point that I said, man, I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna go work for that guy. I just have to. And I got a job at Citronelle with Michel Richard in Washington, D.C. And when I walked into Citronelle, I was just mind blown. I mean, just like, I was so nervous. And I got beat up so bad. At Citronelle, I started on garde manger, which is where everybody starts there. That's the salad station, salads and a little bit of, like all the pre-appetizers. Everything there was like 9 or 11 or 14 courses. So you had like the first 3 or 4 courses. And I was only on the station for 3 days. And then the executive chef under Michel, the chef de cuisine, said I should come over to the hotline. So I started working on the hotline on my 3rd day there, which is kind of, I think, tough to do.
It's the front line.
Yeah, the front line. Yeah, and I was only 20 when I started there. I was 20, and the first day, Michel like killed me. Basically, I was working with this pastry bag, and he's a brilliant pastry chef, and I had no idea how to use a pastry bag. I had never really used one. I was just learning at Citronelle, like so many other things. I was just learning there, and so I was all like crooked on the pass, which whereas we put up all the food, what we call the pass, and Michel yells across the kitchen to Stefan, like, "Stefan, who let the fucking retard in the kitchen? There's a retard in the kitchen, Stefan," And I'm like, holy cow, I think he's talking about me. And, and he gets behind me with Michel's a big guy, and he puts his big hands right on my hands. He's like this kid, and he's like hugging me, showing me how to use the pastry bag. And needless to say, I'm pretty good with a pastry bag now. Like I'm pretty good with it. It's those guys that are like so hard on you, but at the end of the day, like those chefs are so great, like such great nurturers and like teachers and role models. Like, they say things that aren't correct regularly. And if you don't take that to heart and you can see what they're really trying to say and how they're trying to say it, like you get a tremendous amount out of it. And he's the one that sent me to Chef Keller. So that was my next job with the guy that I opened up the book to. And
New York, not
New York. I opened up Per Se in New York. We got 4 stars with Per Se. It was amazing, obviously, to be a part of that.
Did you always think that you wanted to come back?
Yes. I love Easton. I love the Eastern Shore. I love Maryland. It's just I like feeling pride in where I'm from. That's a cool feeling. Yeah. I see so many people that don't have a direct home. They're just travelers, or they've moved around so much that they don't have like a foundational place, or and I like having that foundation. I like it. I like having that foundational place, and I like driving by this place, and it looked like the price kept going down, and it was deserted for like 2 years, and it looked like it was going to go to foreclosure, and I was like, man, if that goes to foreclosure, I'm going to get it. I don't know how. We don't have any money. We're normal kid people, you know what I mean? We've been traveling, and so I just started working on a business plan, like with no thought of if it could actually happen or not. And I started putting it together and taking all my knowledge from all my years and looking up, the SBA, Small Business association website, that's like teaching me how to do a business plan. I'm like, and I found 3 investors, when it came down to it, when it was going to go to foreclosure. And one of them being a direct family member, and then the other 2 being, just outside local great associations who just believed that we could make this work. And so we went for it. And then within a year, all the outside associations dropped out for different reasons. So within a year, it was a 100% family-owned operation, which is great.
That is
great, and continues to be, and always will be.
Yeah.
It's our family place for now. For however long it will keep us. Our first time owning a business, or really being in the business world, we had always been so fortunate to like just work for other people, and things are just kind of taken care of. You know what I mean? Like, you don't understand, like, when you don't own your own business, like how nice that is. And but opening up at that time, we didn't know any different, and there was only one way to go, up. Like, everything was at the bottom. It was a hope. It was the hope. I've been super lucky to have some awesome experiences, like really neat, front of the house and back of the house, and and have been on a management level several times to really like understand the numbers and percentages and what it takes. And I knew I was willing to work really hard for it. I knew I had really like awesome family support, like with my wife and kids, and just like
Takes a village.
Yeah. Like, if it was going to work, it was going to work with us. I feel like our job is to provide like an atmosphere of pleasure. Like, so wouldn't you want to be in that atmosphere for hours because you enjoy it? But the customer has to bring their part to the table too. Like, and their part is to, number one, choose a good date. Yeah, they have to bring a nice companion. You have to, when you come to my place, when you come to our place, like, you have to want to be with that person. It's got to be a close family member or a close friend, or just a colleague that you really respect, that you can have good conversation with. So they have to do their part. If they come in with a bonehead that they don't really want to spend more than an hour with, and then you want to like be tougher on us because you're not enjoying yourself, that's not fair. Like, you didn't read the contract. You were speaking to like kind of the 2 and 2.5 hour dinner.
Yeah.
So there's that format that's fun to pursue, and that's what our 5-course and our 7-course tasting menus pursue. But you can also come into the bar here, and you can come into the bar here, and it's half price, half entrees, 5 days a week. But in any case, I love this place because it does have the ability to be casual, if the guests allow themselves to be casual. So we don't have a dress code. You can come in shorts and a tank top for all we care. Like, we just want to make sure that you're happy and you're comfortable. If that's what you're comfortable in, we're great too. There's no snottiness about it, or we are, everybody here are just like really like lovely, hardworking, normal, like down to earth, like really good people. My team is the best. We have a staff of 30 roughly, and every single one of them are amazing. It has a long way to go because there's so many more minds like coming into the area that are genuinely have an understanding of how to make an impact on, like, buying local, supporting farm to table, to, providing like better nutrition for our local school systems. Like, there's a lot of that fun, like great community food stuff happening. So I think there's a really interesting, fun, long road ahead of us.